So, welcome. This is my first test flight with my new drone. My old drone could only go about 30 meters in the air. A toy. That's how I'm going to put it. It's a toy. So, I went out and bought a DJI Mini Pro 3, Mini 3 Pro, something like that. And I'm very, very impressed with it. With all the trees around, I got a lot of interference, which is understandable. So what you're looking at the moment is only 75 meters off the ground, and we're looking south towards New South Wales. Now below you can see the side fence track that I drive along to get to where I camp. You can see that there. I'm a little erratic. I apologise already for that, because it's only new. I was just checking out speeds and everything. I tried to fly it at my house, which is in Ipswich, but it's so smart that it worked out that I was too close to an airport, and it said, sorry, you can't fly here unless you've got a note from the government to say you can. And I didn't have one of them, obviously, so I had to wait till I got out there, so out to the block. Now I'm flying out. You can see the power lines coming up. I didn't want to get too close to them, so I stayed about 300 meters away from them. We're still about, I don't know, 75 meters off the ground. We're just looking around. I'm having a look. You can see how many gum trees are in this place. Thousands. Now, I'd love to put a fire through this place, and you can see all the little downed trees. There's timber all on the ground everywhere. It really does need a clean up. It hasn't been used for 25 or 30 years, so I can understand why it does need a burn. It'll be good for, the property to get it back into some shape and get some grasses growing. The grass is actually green at the bottom, but it's dead up the top because it's so old and needs to be replaced. Nothing's eating it. It's just sitting there. So this is the paddock that you can see. That is about 80 from the fence line out to where those trees at the bottom are, is about 90 meters or 85 meters. And so there's about, I don't know, something like 10 football fields along there or something. If it was near town, it'd be good for the kids to muck around in and play and kick and everything. And then you can see the dam up there, and you can see how long the fence line is. So as I'm heading back towards the dam, I went up a little bit. You can't really see the back road, but if you go 1.5 kilometres past the dam, that's where my back fence is. I haven't seen the back fence yet, but now that I know that side road is there that goes along the fence, next time I'm at the farm, I'll be heading along that on the quad bike to head up to the back gate or back fence to see where it goes. Now I'm working the camera here. You can look straight down with the camera. The DJI Mini 3 allows you to do that. You can see that it's so thick with trees. I don't think I'm going to have any problems building a log cabin. I think I've got enough trees for doing that. which I'm going to build a log cabin and I'll hire it out to people, couples or whatever that want to come and stay on the block. So as I'm heading north, you can see that fire way off in the distance. You can just see the top of the track on the right. I believe that's pretty close to where the corner of the boundary is. Just as I say that, I look down. That's not good. Now, the drone allowed me to go about 1 kilometre from where I was, and then the signal started to fade. So it gives you a warning saying that the signal's fading, and I think when it said that to me, I actually stopped. And what I did was I pressed return to home. Now I hadn't checked the settings for the return to home, being too eager to get it into the air to have a look to make sure that I could go more than 30 metres, which obviously you can see I did. And with that came the realisation that that track was on the right. And I think that's the top of the block where you can see off to the right there's 2 tracks sort of meet. Oh, that's where I hit return to home. It automatically turned around, and what I had it set for was 235 metres in the air to make sure it's not going to hit anything. So when you hit return to home, it goes to a preset height to ensure that it's not going to hit anything. Now the Mini Pro 3 does come with avoidance capability, so if you're flying along and it detects something in front of it, it will either stop or it will go around it by itself. So it's pretty cluey how it acts. Now, you can see that yellow right down at the top of the screen, at the top of the shot. I believe that's my neighbour's property. I think you can see where the track goes right down the fence, past the dam where I am, past the power lines you can see, only just see, because it's pretty tall, 235 metres. You can see a dam on the left hand side. You can see an open paddock goes down, and you can see a row of trees that heads sideways or 90 degrees to the fence line that heads down to the yellow. I believe that is where the corner of my block is, and it goes across to where you see where that next block, where you can see the edge of that next block. You can see the road, the line of trees that go right down to the road. It seems that all the roads have trees, and it's really strange because it really identifies where the roads are when you get out into the cleared sections, like the farms next door. Yeah, so 239 metres or 235 metres in the air is pretty tall. You can see the power lines below. You can also see where there's a track that I drive along. I believe that track is for firefighting, although I don't know why they couldn't use the PowerLink track. I could close off that and they could just come through the gate where the PowerLink lines are, or the ergon lines are. Yeah, so as I bring it down, you can see that little bit of a paddock there, the clearing closer and closer, but in a minute I think I swing it down here, I'm not sure. Yeah, here we go. And you can see how tiny the tractor and the truck is. Quite small. The dam's not that big. It's probably, I don't know, quarter an acre or so. I couldn't tell you how big it is. I know that yesterday morning when I got up, there was a couple of pied cormorants hanging around on those two logs at the front there. But it's very interesting to see off into the distance how flat Australia really is once you get out past the Great Dividing Range. So there's the track that I was pushing, and the piece right to the left, or it's in the middle of the screen now, you can see a little tiny bit that shoots off. That's where the tractor was stuck. So I had to walk all the way from there back to there and back up to there. It's about 1 kilometre. Yeah, it was a pretty busy day with the tractor getting bogged. All that is on YouTube, and you can have a look. Now, on Google Earth, it showed me that there was a white, like a strip. Obviously, Google Earth is 2D, and you can't you can zoom in a little bit, but it won't. And Google Earth out here is 2011, so it's pretty old. So you can see it's starting to come into the focus now, and that is about halfway up the 640 block. You can see the yellow off to the left at the top. You can see a bit of a fence line that runs along the top of the yellow. That is the top of both the neighbours and my block, the top of that. So you can see that the animals have been using this a lot, this little dam or natural billabong. That's what I'm going to call it. I believe it's naturally caused by water coming down from over there somewhere. So see the top of the yellow? There's a line. If you follow that line straight through, I believe that's where the top of my block is. So yeah, I believe that's where most of the animals have been drinking. They do come down to the dam where I'm at, because I've seen the footprints and stuff. So, but I've never seen this dam yet. Once I get the road a little bit better, I'm going to push a little track up to here so I can check on it. And if the wild pigs and everything are up there, then I can get up there and have a look. But yeah, you can see over there, very flat, isn't it? It's amazing actually how flat Australia is once you get out past that Great Dividing Range, as I said. But yeah, the amount of gum trees that are out there, I could feed a fair few koalas, I reckon. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get rid of the pests and the feral animals, and try and make a bit of a refuge for koalas and other marsupials, and also echidnas. So I know I've got echidnas on the block because I've seen where they've been eating. At this point in the video, I've just pushed return to home because it had started to run out of signal. So we're about 900 meters at that point, I believe. So it's heading back, and then it'll land. I'll leave you with the rest. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and tick the little bell for notifications, and share. I'd love to be able to show everything that I'm doing while I'm out there. So yeah, let people know. Thanks. Talk to you.